All right. I guess. All right. We're live. Okay. This is the Somerset County Board of Education meeting, the open regular session meeting, virtual on October 21st, 2025. I'd like to reconvene an open session. Prior to us doing the Pledge of Allegiance, I did want to make a quick, brief statement. It is with the deep sadness that we announce the passing of Delegate Charles Otto, a cherished friend to Somerset County in the state of Maryland. Delegate Otto served Maryland's 38th district with distinction and dedication, leaving a lasting impact through his service. He will be greatly missed by all that knew him. We ask that you keep his family in your thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. May God bless him, and let us observe a moment of silence in honor of Delegate Otto and his family. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So can we stand, I guess stand for the Pledge of Allegiance or sit, however it is, yeah. Mr. Hill's getting us oh, there we go. Good job. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So we're moving along to the adoption of the agenda. Has everybody looked at the agenda? And are there any things that we need to adjust?
Mr. Chair, I believe 7-1, I believe the meeting minutes for September 10th just overall need to be worked on a little bit more before approval. So I think we should table 7-1.
Noted. Yeah. Okay.
And also, will this be an opportunity for us to add an update to 500-19?
I'm not,
500-19, the selection of textbook and media center materials. Just wanted to provide an update about administrative procedures I've had done for a while, and just want to reiterate that, and just to be able to bring them up here, just to provide an update for the board.
okay. Would that be in your superintendent's monthly report?
I can put it in there, but I just want to make sure that it's shared.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
I would also say that 10.1 and 10.2, I do have initial concerns on it but before we get to discussions over those, I think we should pass it to our attorney before first readers. So I think we should table 10.1 and 10.2.
Ms. Barterman, you want to? Okay, you're gonna table those for when, Mr. Gleason? Are you just saying that's totally another time, not at this meeting?
Correct. So our attorney can review them. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, they just, I think they just came out right before the meeting for the attorney, and she hasn't had a chance to look at them. And both of them have to do with like health. One is the telehealth policy, yes, and then one is bronchiolators. Okay. So I think it would be beneficial that the attorney look at all these, the language and so forth, and then we can bring it up in the next regular meeting, Dr. Tasker Mitchell.
Okay, Ms. Barterman,
For a first read, or did you want us to at least, that's why Ms. Fisher and Ms. Rachel Abbott Gray are here to share what the state has recommended. Would you like to do it for a first read and then hear about it, and then perhaps a lawyer could look at it and then offer feedback from their information?
I personally recommend the opposite of that.
Okay.
Have our attorney look at it, and then we'll
To
discuss it.
share. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
If I may say, you know, it's you know, we've had a lot of back and forth with Open Meetings Act Compliance Board in the past couple of months. And the best practices are that the agenda for the public meeting is prepared, completed, and presented at least 8 days prior to the public meeting, not, you know, 2 hours before we are supposed to join in, because no matter what's on the agenda, there's no way for anybody to know who's putting stuff on that agenda and for me to even read it or to look at it. So I would really kindly ask everybody, for the public's sake as well, everything that needs to be on a public meeting should be done about 8 days prior, so that you all can have time to read it, look at it, call attorney, to call me, let me read it, and have the guests and presenters available. You know, ambush or 2 hours or an hour before the meeting, there's this agenda with these items that no one's ever seen before. It's kind of it's kind of counterproductive, because then you're tabling it, you know, and so you're putting it aside. And
Ms. Tillman, can you speak to that, please?
Mr. Schiaparelli, Mr. Langford approved this agenda last week with these
Yeah, I had
items.
turned in those policies a while
Yes.
ago.
I've
This
never
is
seen it.
information.
Now, I thought that I had shared
Information.
all of that information. Some of the things were sent singly as I was getting them.
I just got 2 hours, less than 2 hours before the
And
meeting.
then as far as the Open Meeting Minutes Act, the agenda was posted last week as soon as Mr. Langford approved it.
Yeah, I had we met on Tuesday. Monday was canceled due to flooding. And I remember that, Ms. Tillman, but you know, I don't know that Ms. Schiffinelli never got any of them. So until she called me about an hour before the meeting, and I'm like, I don't understand, but yes. So it's important. It's important for the public, but it's even more so important for the board members to get these things so that they can have time to examine them and look at them. So that didn't happen. So I feel more comfortable with at least tabling them till next month. I mean, it's nothing that I think any of us really have a lot of concern about, but it is some health, like with the telemeds and so forth. I think we need to get the attorneys to look at it. So, yep. So is there anything else? Just real quick, I wanted to add a recognition. I got this email this morning, and I know this is last minute, so I'm asking, but it's about a student that had done something very remarkable at Washington High, and I wanted to share that with you all. And also an update on the for next week for our audit. So with all that, can I get a motion to adopt the agenda as we all just discussed?
I move to adopt the agenda as amended.
Second.
All right. Any additional discussion? Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Tillman. Call for the vote.
She's silent. Her mic's not on.
Okay. All right. Mr. Gleason,
Yes.
Ms. Bosman,
Yes.
Mr. McIntyre,
Yes.
Mr. Robertson,
Yes.
and Matthew Langford, me. Yes. Okay. So the agenda is adopted. What we're going to do is we have the approval of minutes for September 16th and 29th. We've added in the superintendent report 519 procedures. Is that correct, Dr. Tasker Mitchell? Yep.
That's
And I've added to my presentations a recognition of a young lady at Washington High School who did something remarkable, and a little update on our audit and everything in the new business. We're going to table 10.1 and 10.2. All right. Have I missed anything? All right. Very good. All right. Approval of minutes. Has everybody looked at the September 16th and the September 29th open minutes for the open meeting? Can I get a motion for approval?
I move that we approve the September 16th and the September 29th minutes.
Second
Do we
that.
get a second?
Second that.
All right. Any discussion?
Vice Chair Gleason,
Yes.
Mrs. Bosman,
Yes.
Mr. McInturf,
Yes.
Mr. Robertson,
Yes.
Chairman Langford.
Yes. Thank you. And those minutes have been approved. And moving on to reports. First is the superintendent's monthly report. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Dr. Tasker Mitchell. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. First, I want to make sure that I recognize the passing of Delegate Otto, as was previously stated. In my short time of knowing Delegate Otto, he was a good man and he was always fair. So just want to start off with a couple of things. So the months of September and October were filled with excitement. We have a lot to be proud of in Somerset. We had wonderful wins with our sports teams, both the girls and boys teams. And want to also thank Coach Walters for sharing with us Emily Whitlock's success as a four-year golfer at Washington High School. She has qualified for the state golf tournament next Tuesday at College Park. And want to congratulate Emily. And I did have an opportunity to see the golf team play, and they did a really, really nice job. I want to congratulate Emily and her family. Also, our elementary schools had trunk or treat events, and I want to thank all the families for supporting our children and bringing them there to the schools as you have in the past to help celebrate the costume day and to time with their family and their friends. And I would also like to recognize our appreciation days. We have several employees that I want to make sure we recognize for the months of September and October for appreciation days. First, our principals, our instructional technology team, our human resources team. We had also World Teacher Day, which was, I believe was on October the 5th, and Custodian Appreciation Day. So we want to thank all of you for what you do for our students and families every single day. And if anyone in your school communities have time to see any of those individuals, make sure you congratulate them and thank them. Additionally, I want to share that we have National Bullying Prevention Month in the month of October, and I believe Unity Day is tomorrow. So don't forget to wear orange. And we also have National Learning Disabilities Month is also in the month of October. And it's also important to highlight for the community and staff that we are working closely with our instructional supervisors to provide more rigorous opportunities for our students. And this is something that's really important for us to be able to do for our students to have equitable opportunities to more rigorous coursework. So more information will be forthcoming in that area. We are also very excited about our strategic plan, and you will hear more information about that tomorrow at our Thursday at our Community Connections and Conversations meeting that will be happening from 6 to 7:30 p.m. So thank you all to our community stakeholders for all that you do for our students. I also want to make sure that I provide an update as it relates to 500-19. So just so everyone knows that 500-19 has to do with the selection of textbook and media center materials. So just wanted to share and express that I would like to let the public and the board know that we have continued to work on these administrative procedures as I have attempted to present several months ago, just to make sure that we're trying to stay in alignment with the Freedom to Read Act, and also that we are aligned to COMAR as well as it relates to the selection of textbook and media center materials. So I think we've put together with Ms. Holland and her team, our media specialists, some very detailed administrative procedures that are pretty comprehensive about what that process looks like in Somerset County. And so I will be submitting that information again to the board so that you all are able to review. I think this will probably be your first time, Mr. Robertson, being able to see these administrative procedures. But I will make sure that you all have those administrative procedures before the close of this week. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You.
Did I didn't know, did you have your discipline report too, Dr. Tasker Mitchell? I didn't know.
Yeah, Mr. Gibson's going to go over that for me. Did we skip it? Oh, no. Okay, it's right underneath. I just want to make sure we didn't miss it. I think Mr. Gibson is on here.
I am.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gibson.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Chairman Langford and Dr. Tasker Mitchell, board members and staff, students, guests. Presenting September's discipline report from this year. Give me just a moment here. All right. So looking at September of 2025 as compared to September of 2024, we had 164 students receiving 222 office referrals this year. Slight uptick from last year, an increase of 21 students and 27 referrals. Looking at our grade band and subtype, the majority of our referrals continues to be classroom or disruptions, mostly in the classroom. We do have a large number of physical aggression, student attacks, and fights as well. Our consequences this year, you can see a variety of consequences are used. The most frequent used consequence for September was a suspension, as well, and the use of ISI slightly dropped from last year at this time. The locations obviously would continue to be the classroom as our major point of referrals, which of course would stand to reason. And that one. Looking at our looking at the chart, looking at trend data, we are again a slight uptick from September of last year. The orange color here is September of 24 versus the blue, which is September of 25, and these are for referrals for the month of September. And our out of school suspension numbers, again, slightly on the rise from September of last year, and to see our trends over the last few years.
Okay, any questions? And I'll just make a couple comments.
Yeah, I do have a couple questions. Are they for you or Mr. Gibson? I guess is it for you, Dr. Tasker Mitchell?
Whatever you want to ask.
Okay. I looked over the report and I looked at I see that they are up some with referrals. Looking at some of the consequences. One of the things that we had looked at in our behavior policy earlier in or last year, which was in 25, was detentions. And one of the things that I noticed is there's 7 detentions for the elementary students, but there are none for the middle or high schools.
Mhm.
Is there a specific reason? Are they putting that in force with the consequences?
I think so because we have a matrix. There's a plethora of choices for schools and what they want to select and utilize as a consequence for whatever disposition they want to implement as it relates to whatever behavior. So specifically to why the middle school might be doing it instead of the high school for specificity, sometimes just because of staff and when they can have detention may be a challenge. Sometimes in elementary school, they may have it during lunchtime. They may have it at other times. They may have it in the morning because their scheduled time is different than the middle and the high school. So for me, it appears to be a little bit more challenging to do the detention in the middle and high school. But also, Ms. Bartamy, do you have any other any insights you want to add?
Sorry. Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing. It depends on how they're choosing to put that in the log entries. And there is choices on our discipline matrix that is used, and also progressive as well comes into play there. Progressive discipline.
Yeah. And if you do it after school, sometimes that also may impact if teachers have to cover that detention time as well.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, thank you for your answer. I had, that was one of the things that I thought would be a major impact on the discipline issues when the board had actually added that to our discipline policy. And I do understand some of the circumstances that you're talking about, but I would actually suggest that the staff of the schools look at that and try to work out a solution to getting detentions, I believe, back into the school system. That's one of the things that we had put in our policy, and I would definitely refer back to that so you can see exactly what we had said on that. So that's my question. So I would definitely encourage you to look at that and try to get that implemented. It was mostly for middle and high schoolers anyway. It's hard to understand the elementary students with detention. I can understand maybe if they get taken away the recess or something of that sort. But that's not what we had passed. It was after school.
That's another choice. So
yes, that is
it's
for elementary. That is their choice.
Go ahead, Ms. Bartamy. Go ahead.
I was going to say that is why it looks that way, because elementary would do could be a recess detention. That's why it looks like that as far as the data.
Okay. There was one other question I had, and I didn't see this on there. I know, we had, and it's right at the beginning of the report. It had bear with me, such as class cutting, tardiness, drugs, tobacco, and all those things. One of the things I didn't see on there are cell phones. So are we getting referrals from people using their cell phones? And the consequences could be taking it away till the end of the day. The second time, it's the end of the month. However, we had that designed as well.
No, I think the students have done better this year with the cell phones. And that's something that I haven't heard principals or staff talk about. Now, do the students still take their phones out sometimes and we can't necessarily see it all the time? Yes, they do, but it hasn't been an issue. I know I've been in buildings a lot this year, as well as Ms. Bartamy, and I haven't seen students with the headphones, the earbuds, walking around texting or anything like that and it was a little more prevalent last year. But I think because the school leaders know, I think teachers know that it's something that has been really emphasized in the schools.
Yeah, and that'd be good. Even if there were 0 incidents, it'd be good to have that on there so we could see it. It was just something that I noticed.
Just to clarify, for the September of 2025, inappropriate use of personal electronics, it's about the 5th column from the end of the chart there. Oftentimes that's what's coded. Cell phones is coded as inappropriate use of personal electronics. It's a very long title, but oftentimes that would be the.
Oh! You know what? I saw it was one. I got you.
There was one from this September.
It wasn't on 24. That's probably
no,
I'm
correct.
sorry.
There weren't any. The way the reports pull, if they only pull if there's a referral for that consequence. Otherwise, it would just be a blank.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. Well, thank you.
It's a very long title, so it can be misleading.
Okay. All right. That's all the question. Does anybody else have any questions for Dr. Tasker Mitchell or the staff concerning the disciplinary results from September?
So we just so you all know, we did start the SOAR program, and although in the past it has been more of a reactionary intervention, we are utilizing it in that manner, but we're also trying to be more proactive with that program. And so I'm hoping that will be able to help, as well as our multi-school tiered system of support, of student support, which is called MTSS in our county, which we are looking at revamping. A lot of schools have started to do morning meetings and circle time, although we do have, although we still do have challenges in our schools. These are some of the things that we're trying to put in place to make sure that we are trying to address behaviors. But again, and I will continue to say, it is a school-based challenge, but it's also, we also need community and home support as well.
What's our current capacity for the SOAR program, the Alternative Learning Center?
About 10 students, and we have 2 there now.
And where is it currently located?
In the boardroom, or in the board office, in the central office.
We have 2 classrooms.
Okay. All right. Any additional questions concerning the disciplinary report? Well, I want to thank you, Dr. Tasker Mitchell and Mr. Gibson and Ms. Bartame. Thanks. All right. Did I miss somebody else? No. Okay. All right. Next on the agenda is the Student Board Representative Activity Reports. So with that, Ms. Holland, I think our students reps on the call.
Yes, sir. Both of them are available. You can call on whoever you want to go first.
Okay. Is it Miss Hankerson? Is that correct?
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
I have reports from the different schools in Somerset County. I'll start with Greenwood Elementary. Right now they say students are working hard in all the content areas, and teachers are noticing the improvement and the strengthening of their use of small group instruction and activating thinking strategies. They've also begun doing math reasoning problems of the week, and they are seeing their students' reasoning skills flourish. They have recognized multiple superheroes of the week. There are multiple. I'm not even going to try that, but there are a lot of them. I don't want to mispronounce or mess up anybody's names. My apologies.
No, that's good.
Um, they have had their first PBIS incentive. They've had a silent disco, which was a great success. And their next incentive is Oktoberfest, which is scheduled for Friday, October 31st. Many students are earning PBIS rewards and shopping at the Eagle store at Greenwood Elementary. They just recently hosted their annual trunk or treat event on Thursday, October 16th, which they had an amazing turnout and are thankful for their family and community support. They also have the mobile job unit, which will be at the school on Thursday, October 23rd from 3:30 to 5:30, which is open to the community. Woodson Elementary School, they have placed all their students in intervention groups targeted towards their needs, and they are currently monitoring the progress of these groups. The students are demonstrating success with the small groups with the targeted instruction. Ms. Dyes has been awarded a substantial amount of grant money from the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore to support her students. Their first PBIS incentive was held at the end of October, where kids earned snow cones, and this month's earnings will be popcorn and pumpkin fidgets. They just held their curriculum trunk or treat and had an amazing turnout. Many families came out to support the school. Deal Island Elementary, they had their United Way Reader program, and it has started this week. They had volunteers come out to read to third grade students. Students are excited about the Maryland Science Center Assembly, which, my apologies. I'm just going to skip that. Their 4th and 5th grade students are planning a Veterans Day program on November 17th at 9:30. Somerset Intermediate School had their school-wide intervention period, and it's been going strong throughout October. They are focusing on ELA and match achievement growth. They're celebrating Dr. Taylor during National Principals Month for all of October. Miss Kelsey Allen received a grant for her GT students through the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore to support their projects. They recently had successful parent-teacher conferences on October 6th. And they also had community vendors come out to the school. They are beginning after-school clubs on Tuesday, October 21st, which is today. And they have various community members and staff leading the clubs. Their trunk or treat family engagement night is scheduled for Wednesday, October 29th from 5 to 6:30 p.m. And they would like you guys to come out and support if you can. Washington Academy High School has recently had another win. On October 3rd, the Jaguars beat the Nandua High School during our homecoming game. And on October 16th, they defeated Kent County High School. They recently had a FAFSA night with the guidance department, and they partnered with Warwick on October 20th from 4 to 6, and they were able to help students fill out their FAFSA. They're sponsoring a haunted house / trunk or treat event at 6 on October 31st. All of the community is invited to attend. The Technical High School continues to provide outstanding opportunities for students to grow their skills and prepare for future careers. On Thursday, October 23rd, culinary students are visiting Warwick Community College to explore their culinary programs and tour the campus. On Friday, October 24th, Mr. Webster and the their construction instructor will host a masonry competition beginning at 9:30. They are inviting the board members to attend and community. All programs are showing employability skills, safety, and professionalism through daily instruction and targeted walkthrough feedback. Princess Anne Elementary School on October 2nd had the science nerds come and do an assembly for every student. Students got to participate in various science experiments as well as take home activities. Students in kindergarten and first grade have been working hard at completing levels for Lexia. There has been a 22% increase in the number of students working on grade level since the beginning of the year. Princess Anne Elementary School's first ever family sports night held on September 29th in partnership with the Judy Center and UMass was a great success. The event brought out many families from the community for an evening of fun and fitness, and also inspired a newfound love of volleyball. They hosted their first ever family focus session during conference night. Dr. Latrice Gray and the team from Creative Space Child Therapy offered a drop-in style session in the library where families could stop by and ask questions to receive support for their child's transition.
This is over.
This month, they are celebrating their amazing principal, Miss Krista Taylor, and they thank her for her hard work and dedication towards the school. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hankerson. Good job. Next is Mr. Brittingham.
Good afternoon, everyone. Chairman Lankford and the superintendent and other members. As of right now, we have Chris Hill Academy and High School. The math department is stepping up to improve the Maryland testing scores and are volunteering to stay after school starting next week during Tuesday and Thursday to getting some practice and help those test scores get up. And we're giving a congratulations to Ms. Vicki Nelson, to the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore for a grant award for the purchase of cameras for her photography class. And our National Honor Society voting for our officers just ended last week. We have our president, Talia Lane, vice president, which is myself, secretary, Isabella McHenry, treasurer, Carrie Drewer, and historian, Isaac Mister. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Brittingham. So is there any others? Do we have Woodson left, or was that done?
No, sir. They were covered by Ms. Hankerson.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Good job, Mr. Brittingham. Thank you,
you.
Ms. Holland, for your dedication and helping these young students. I'll tell you what, they did a good job. Thank you. All right. Moving along. Next on the agenda is presentations. Before I do that, I'd like to recognize, and I think Dr. Tasker Mitchell already did. Thank you, Dr. Tasker Mitchell. But we extend our heartfelt congratulations to Miss Emily Whitelock for earning a spot in the Maryland State Golf Tournament. This is a remarkable achievement, as only 3 golfers in the history of Washington High School's golf have qualified for the state tournament. Miss Whitelock's accomplishments stand as a testament to her dedication and skill. The District 8 match at Queenstown Harbor brought together 79 golfers from both Bayside North and Bayside South on Monday. On these of these competitors, only 13 distinguished themselves with scores high enough to advance to the state tournament. Among this selected group, Emily Whitelock proudly represented both her school and Somerset County. Washington High School's legacy in the state tournament includes 3 outstanding students: Zoe Nichols, Hannah Whitelock, and now Emily Whitelock. Mr. Billy Walters has had the privilege of coaching both Hannah and Emily and contributing to their success, the continued excellence of the school's golf program. Congratulations to Coach Walters for his dedication and guidance. Good luck at the state tournament, and I hope you hit a hole in one. That'd be great. All right.
In case you didn't figure it out, Hannah's Emily's older sister.
Well, I assumed that, but I didn't want to. But congratulations to both of them. And Mr. Walters, he did an excellent job. Maybe he's should be a golf pro or something. That's pretty good. But I want to congratulate them. That's a heck of an achievement. Yep. Thank you, Mr. McInturf and everybody. So good job again, Miss Whitelock. Yeah. Next is the on the agenda is Somerset County Technical High School. This is not really a presentation. It's just a statement, and I wanted to read that. As a representative of the school board for District 4, I have received numerous requests from Somerset County residents to expand access to the technical high school for all students, including those enrolled in private schools and homeschool programs. Given that these individuals are taxpayers within Somerset County, they believe they should be eligible to participate in all programs offered at the technical high school, provided they meet the same qualifications required of any student. Although this matter has been previously discussed without resolution, I propose scheduling an open work session to solicit the community input and to further explore the possibility of extending these opportunities to all Somerset County residents. Further details will be provided as they become available. For additional information or to inquire about the work session meeting schedule, please contact the Somerset County Board of Education via email or in writing. Thank you. Yep. Is there any comments or questions on the statement that I gave from the board members? I've been getting a lot of course, I did a lot of campaigning, and this was one of the requests from the citizens of Somerset County on many levels. But I just thought it'd be good to open it up. And let's see, what it comes from it. So that'll be in the future. So if there's no question, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say it's something you can have Ms. Schiafinelli check into, because problem in the past what we've run into is funding as it comes comes to federal funding, and that's always been the hang up in the past of trying to make that jump.
Thank you, Mr. McInturf. Yeah, I can see that. So definitely, it won't hurt us to explore it anyway.
No, a lot of people have asked about it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. McInturf. Anybody else have any comments? Okay. All right. Moving along. This is an FYI for everybody. I wanted to announce it in this meeting, hopefully that we can get a lot of participation from the public in the next meeting. The Somerset County Board of Education received the audited financial statements for fiscal year 2025 from UHY on Friday, October 17th, 2025. The audit identified multiple violations within Somerset County Public Schools for FY25, which indicate non-compliance and confirm that the district did not pass the audit. These findings are significant concerns and warrant immediate attention. We will address these matters in detail during our regular session meeting scheduled for November the 18th, 2025. Our auditors from UHY will be present. Please mark your calendar and make every effort to attend this important meeting. Thank you.
Are we having discussion, Mr. Langford?
No,
I would like
don't
to.
think it's we just got these reports, Dr. Tasker.
Yeah.
We've read over them.
I just want to make sure that the public knows it wasn't just 2025. These are issues that have been in place for the last decade. And it just so happened also that what is needing to be addressed are things that were actually expressed back in 2024, 2023, and 2010 to 2025 through 2025. And what you expressed is correct. There are some challenges that have to be, that a board before I got here said that they were going to address, just in terms of by November 1st, some challenges with funding. And just want to make sure that the public knows that we are looking at the audit from 2010, from those findings through 2025. As you know, there's decades old issues with finances, procurement policies not being updated in the last 10 years. So my current team right now is being led by Mr. Hill and myself, as well as when we get our new CFO and Ms. Bartamy on board and some of our finance team to look at some of the procurements that the prior administration and board said that they were going to utilize to look at and to make updates to those procurement policies. So I just want to be really clear that these are over 10 years worth of issues and challenges, and that this administration is going to be tasked with mitigating those issues and fixing them. So I just want to be really clear about that for the public. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Dr. Tasker Mitchell. And reading the report, you know, I know some of it was like a first time thing, but I don't know. I kind of agree with you. That's why, you know, the board definitely needs reports to be able to help oversee the issues. And I think there's a lot of things that we need to discuss with these auditors, and looking at it in that lens. I do believe we can work out some of these details, because they are somewhat disturbing. But
I'm glad you want to do work sessions, because that'll be helpful.
Yeah,
and that'll be a way that everybody can look at them.
Yeah,
and yes, we can mitigate some of those issues from the past. So thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Is there any additional comments? Well, again, they'll be here on November the 18th. I wanted to announce that because, you know, that's usually maybe one of our bigger meetings of the year when we go over the audit process. So even though it's a lot of numbers and different things, hopefully the public as well as the board members and the staff will get a lot out of it, and we can make the improvements necessary to fix it. So thank you again. All right. If there's nothing else, we'll move on to new business. We have first on the list, social studies, 6-7 textbook adoption, first reader. I think that is Ms. Holland. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Ms. Holland. Great.
Chairperson Langford, Vice Chair Gleason, members of the board, thank you for having me this evening. I bring before you a first read for information on eventual textbook adoption for grades 6 and 7 for next school year. Wanted to start early and make sure I provided lots of time to look over the updated frameworks and the work we have been doing so far, and give you time to, oh, sorry, my light went off in my office. It'll come back on. to give you an opportunity to look through the information that we've been going through. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, let me present. Sorry, give me just a second here.
Slideshow. It's
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. It always looks different when you're doing it this way. Okay, so of course we've got our mission and our vision. So we're looking again for next school year to eventually adopt new textbooks for grades 6 and 7. So giving you some background, Maryland State Department of Education Social Studies does a regular cycle of reviewing and updating their frameworks. And so they've been doing that over the past several years. In 2019, they started that process and they kept moving with it. In 2022, they convened an educator work group to revise the framework for grades 6 and 7. In 23, the frameworks went through the final edits, and so we kind of thought we were where we needed to be. And the frameworks were significantly different than the frameworks we're working with now. Right now, it's mostly ancient and medieval history, and while that is still included in the updated frameworks, they've also included a lot more geography and some more current events as it relates to geography and geographical understandings. So those final edits went through in 2023, and I know you're thinking, well, what were you doing since then? So just about the time in last year, in 2024, when we were ready to start reviewing textbooks and making some decisions, MSDE created a social studies framework validation committee, which was comprised of educators, academics, and community organizations to review and revise frameworks. It's my understanding that they'll be doing these framework validation committees for all content areas and that they simply started with social studies. So knowing that they would be reviewing those frameworks and making potential changes, we decided, as did some other counties, to put that on pause to see how extensive any changes might be to those frameworks. So in 2025, very recently, in fact, the State Board of Education did approve suggested revisions to the social studies frameworks, including grades 6 and 7. And so now we've got a final updated framework to work with. We wanted to make sure that if we were going to adopt a new textbook, that it would in fact align to whatever MSDE was requiring of us. So what are those changes? I have linked the updated social studies frameworks within this presentation. But for a quick summary, it includes some content from modern day, which of course we do not have in our current grades 6 and 7. There's a much heavier emphasis on geography and geographical thinking and geographical problems. So it's not just where something is on a map. There's some human geography, some physical geography, and political geography. The framework is not linear and not historically based. And so they kind of took it through geographic themes, and half of those themes are hit in 6th grade and the other half are hit in 7th grade, which again is quite different from what we have been doing. And then finally, these standards are meant to be covered in a 6-7 grade band that links the themes. And so they definitely designed it intentionally that way. So those are the changes that MSDE made. So what have I been doing here in Somerset County Public Schools as this process has been unfolding? In 2023, I began communicating with other social studies supervisors around the state and specifically locally to see which textbooks were being widely considered and might be deemed eventually high quality instructional materials. That's the HQIM acronym. Kind of concurrently at MSDE, social studies is working on developing a rubric to identify curricular resources that are high quality. While we could wait for that, I'll talk to you later about why it's important that we go ahead and adopt for next school year. And frankly, I expect that the HQIM rubric will be completed by then, and that many of the choices that we looked at will likely be put through that rubric and hopefully will be deemed high quality through that rubric. As you know, when Ms. Welch presented the ELA materials, they had already gone through that process with English language arts. And so they were able to say definitively this is or is not HQIM. So social studies is in that process right now. In 24, I began the textbook review process, reached out to multiple vendors, and started looking at and receiving presentations on those textbook materials. Included in those review processes were teachers from grades 6 and 7, which, if you don't know, is a really small number. We've only got 3 social studies teachers for 6th grade and 2.5 for 7th grade. So that's a small number. So definitely our administrators over at the intermediate school were involved. They're both have backgrounds in social studies and have extensive knowledge. So certainly their thoughts were and input were appreciated. And then I was involved as well. So again, when MSDE announced the SFVC process, we kind of put things on hold, even though we had already looked at several of the textbooks. So we did put that on hold. Here is the link to the updated frameworks, should you want to look at them in detail. And then recently, with the passage of the updated frameworks, MSDE has shared with social studies supervisors across the state that the expectation is to implement that new framework next school year. So that gives us a finite timeline for sure. So we included some other, we did review some other textbooks, but these were the ones that aligned. Some of the others that you'll see listed elsewhere in the presentation didn't even align. So we looked at Gibbs-Smith, Savas, which is also Pearson, McGraw-Hill, HMH, and then for some reason TCI and Cengage are not listed on this page. My apologies. And here are our preliminary conclusions. So basically what we were looking for in our preliminary previews was whether or not something was aligned, meaning can we take this textbook, this resource, and will it provide us with what we need to teach the updated social studies frameworks? And so that's basically what I'm going over here. So for the product produced or published rather by Gibbs-Smith, it was written specifically for the new 6-7 standards. It is very aligned to the new framework. We do believe that some counties will be putting it through the HQIM rubric, and we do believe that they have been working closely with the state of Maryland in paying attention to what will be considered high quality instructional materials. So we think it will likely pass, though we don't know that for sure. What we did find was we didn't think the supplementary materials were as extensive as with TCI or HMH. The Savas Pearson product, it was a good textbook. It did align and it did have good supplementary materials. What we found, though, was it was not written for the MSDE frameworks. And so you would have to jump around a lot within the textbook to meet the standards and teach the framework in the way that it was designed by MSDE to be taught. We didn't find that the McGraw-Hill textbook aligned to the MSDE framework, so we eliminated that for sure. The HMH product partially aligned. The supplementary materials were not what we needed. So again, we fairly quickly eliminated that. Just this year, within the past month, we reviewed National Geographic, which is a product of Cengage, and we found it to be very aligned to the new framework. And it does have extensive supplementary geography materials, which you would expect from National Geographic. And it has some really cool technical applications. So that was an interesting product to be sure. And then finally, TCI is very aligned to our new framework. And in fact, they are, it's still hot off the presses. They revised their textbook to meet Maryland standards, and that'll be published next month. But we did have a presentation from TCI within the past several weeks. The supplementary materials were comprehensive and easy to use. And this product is familiar to our teachers because we've had it at both grades 6 and 7, as well as 8, for the past several years. And so the layout, where the teachers' materials are, and kind of the technical aspects of it are all really familiar to our teachers, which is a plus for them, I think. So our recommendation is kind of our narrowing down would be these 3 products that we felt were the most aligned directly and provided us with the best materials to teach the new Social Studies 6-7 framework. So that would be the Gibbs-Smith product, the National Geographic Cengage product, and the TCI product. And so what I've got here for you is everything that you need to preview those products. While we call this a first read tonight, and it is a first read because I will eventually need to adopt a textbook for this program, I am hoping to not come before you before the spring because I want to give you time to review these products and explore what you think of them. To be honest with you, we were just finishing up those last presentations and we didn't even come to a consensus as to which one we wanted to pick yet because we thought it would be a good time for the board to have the same opportunity that we did to review these textbooks. So this is my timeline. We did review, again, as I was saying, the National Geographic Cengage textbook earlier this month. And then presenting to you tonight. And underneath of that, I elicit suggestions for next step from the Board of Education. Of course, I have suggested to you that I would love to do a second read in the spring. If in the meantime, the board would like for me to have companies, any of these companies present to you, I'd be happy to arrange that. I suspect that the companies would be more than happy to do that. I know that SIS is having a parent night along with their holiday concert on December 9th. So I thought I would be available to speak to the new frameworks and have pulled up the 3 kind of top contender curriculums, the 3 that we discussed, so that parents could look through that and I could answer any questions and elicit any feedback from them as well. And then January to March, seeking approval for purchase for next school year. So I'll be putting that in my budget. And just kind of, a little bit of a why is it necessary for me to get new textbooks to cover this next year? As I said, the framework has definitely changed significantly. With 6th grade, our textbooks are fairly old. They were old when MSDE started this process, and now they're even older. And in fact, the past couple years, as our textbooks have sort of worn out, I've purchased almost everything they have in the warehouse with respect to that printing and that version of our textbook. They literally, I think I bought out almost every last one that they had the last time that I ordered additional classroom textbooks. So we are at a point where it is critical for us to get new 6th grade textbooks next year. With the caveat that we would not implement the 7th grade until the following year. So if we needed to split up the purchasing, purchase 6th grade next year and then 7th grade the following year for economy reasons, certainly that would be a possibility, but we need to implement the new framework next year, beginning with 6th grade. So any questions?
I have a comment. A great job, Ms. Holland.
Thank you.
And thank you for giving us some time to review the the materials and so forth. I think that's the way it should be done, and great job. Yeah.
Thank you. Any additional questions?
I was going to agree. I thank you, Ms. Holland, for your foresight and getting out ahead of the curve on this to so maybe we don't encounter some of the difficulties we've had in the past with this process. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And again, please let me know if, in the meantime, I'll assume that no news is good news. But if you need the companies to present or you need additional information, please do let me know.
Are we going to get access to full? Are we going to get access to full physical textbooks, like teachers' editions or anything that they have? I think the current links, they're just samples. So are we going to get access to like the full textbooks?
I'm surprised. I thought they were full textbooks. That's what I requested. So if you'll let me know, Mr. Gleason, which ones are not full textbooks, I'll certainly take care of that, because I know one of them I clicked on and she's like, oh no, this is how you get the full textbook. So I wonder if it is available and it's the wrong link. I don't know, but please do let me know. Email me and let me know which ones you do not have correct access to, so that I can correct that. And if it's not correct from the company, I can email them and get that information.
Thank you.
Any other concerns? Thank you for checking that, Mr. Gleason. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I guess we go ahead and put a motion. Did we got a motion for a first read, so that we can start examining the materials and so forth?
I mean, I think as Ms. Holland described, it's sort of a long-term first read.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is open for some approval in the spring. So
yeah.
I motion that we agree to, on a first read, on Ms. Holland's proposal to begin a review process that would enable us to get to a approval potentially in the spring.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I personally would rather wait, but I'm not opposed to going ahead and giving it the first read.
Yeah.
Vice Chair Gleason,
Yes.
Mrs. Bosman. I couldn't hear you. Mr.
Muted,
Mack.
that's why.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. McInturf,
Yes.
Mr. Robertson,
Yes.
Chairman Langford.
Yes. Yeah. So it passes first read. So thank you, Ms. Holland, and we will be inquiring for all the information and start working on it. Thank you. At least it won't be a 4-day weekend. So thank you again. Yep. Great job. All right.
Thank you.
So it passed, and we will start the process. Thank you. Next is the Somerset County Public Schools FY 2027 Capital Improvement Plan. It says first and final reader. Okay, so I guess that's Mr. Hill. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Good evening, Chairman Langford, members of the board, Dr. Tasker Mitchell. I'm here tonight to present the Capital Improvement Plan FY27. This is subsequent to the Educational Facilities Master Plan, which was approved at our last meeting. Capital Improvement Plan is what we put forward to the state to request funding for existing and ongoing projects and the projects we've determined from our EF&P to be something which will benefit our school district. Right now, we are requesting 4 different CIP requests. One is continuing funding for the project at Chrisfield Academy and High School, the renovation project there. One is continuing funding for the development of a school replacement at Greenwood Elementary and Princess Anne Elementary. We are also requesting funding for a renovation addition at Somerset Intermediate School, which would bring the 8th grade back to the intermediate school level, add a wing there, and renovate the existing structure to update quite a few systems there, which are in bad need of update and or repair. And then we have the project at Carter Woodson Elementary School. We're requesting funding for a systemic feasibility study there. There are some structural issues in the building, partially due to the ground cracking, some different issues there, mechanical issues, some issues with the geothermal system there, which supplies our heat and air condition. That is a feasibility study to see what makes the most sense there, whether it would be system replacement, systemic renovations, or possibly something larger. The reason I've asked for a first and final tonight is, although we have 4 projects here, I expect that because of cash flow from the state and the project at Chrisfield High School, that only the continuing funding for the project at Chrisfield High School and design funding for the project at Greenwood Elementary would be approved by the state. And this would still have to be approved by the county commissioners before I could send it on to the state for their approval and to continue the funding for FY27. The project at Chrisfield, so you know, is well underway. Demo of the first phase is just about complete. It is quite a project. I'd love for some of you guys to come down and take a look when you can. I invite that. We have also completed most of the educational specifications for a replacement school at Greenwood, which is part of that first phase feasibility study. The other 2 projects have had no movement because they were denied due to cash flow limitations in last year's capital improvement plan request to the state. If you've had a chance to review the CIP plan, do you have any questions or anything I can address at this time?
Are the plans written in stone? I have concerns about moving the 8th graders out of Chrisfield High School. If you move the 8th grade out of high school, you'll go below 300 student population. So I don't.
At Chrisfield High School?
Pardon me?
Are you speaking of Chrisfield?
No, moving the 8th grade, all 8th graders to the intermediate school. In the Chrisfield area, it would drop our student population below 300. And some of my constituents don't really want to move their kids anymore.
Okay. Well, it's not written in stone. We can definitely discuss what it looks like. And even if we were to receive approval, we could discuss it as merely a renovation of the existing building. It would have to go through a vetting process, and we'd have to have a study done to make sure the state would even approve the funding for that. The reason we had discussed that is there had been quite a bit of discussion last year about 8th grade and some of the things they contribute to at the high school level, and they were moved to the high school level for certain funding reasons years ago. And I think due to behaviors and some other issues, we had discussed having them with a more traditional grade banding.
I was part of that movement.
Okay.
So I understand the reasons. And the reason was numbers. But like I'm saying, I'm trying to protect the Chrisfield area schools because I know decreased population does not mean the school will stay open and function. So what I don't want to lose any more kids from Chrisfield High. I want to keep Chrisfield High open.
I can assure you that Chrisfield High School will remain open. The project that we're doing there right now has solidified that. I can tell you that state funding for a project of that kind, we are required to maintain that for a period of at least 15 years. So I think that that's a great thing to do for that school. It's in bad need, and hopefully we'll experience some growth is what I'd like to see. I know that there's a project coming to Princess Anne by Washington High School. We're looking at the addition of 45 new homes right there adjacent to Washington High School. So we're seeing some growth in the northern end, not just to consider Chrisfield, the thing about Washington in the 8th grade. We're looking at some enrollment growth there, and hopefully Chrisfield with some development talk, we'll see some of the same growth. But no, projects aren't written in stone until we begin them and they're approved by the state.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to piggyback a little bit off of Mr. Robertson because I guess my concern is really, SIS has got some, I feel like, huge behavior issues and stuff like that. And by adding more kids to the school, would we be throwing kind of gas on the fire, so to speak? That would be a concern of mine, as well as, like Mr. Robertson said, I have several constituents as well that, would be concerned about reducing the numbers at Chrisfield Academy High School. So
Okay.
I kind of piggyback with them on that. And I would think we would need some kind of plan in place because,
Yeah, we have to have more conversation. Like Mr. Hill said, that doesn't have to be set in stone. But thank you, Mr. Robertson, for bringing bringing that point across, because I think before we just make any definitive decision, we have to look at all options. And it does, I believe it should be a work session to kind of look through what some of those pieces would look like.
Thank you.
It's a point well taken about the reduction in enrollment.
I have a question, Mr. Hill. You mentioned the Greenwood Princess Anne Elementary replacement, and the specifics of the project are starting to be developed. And I'm interested in what those specifics are, because I still have reservations about, because you're going to end up with a elementary school with 900 or 1,000 kids in it. And I still have some concern about that. I know we've talked in the past about possible design of the school, and stuff to kind of alleviate that concern. But as specifics become available, I'd like to see them.
I can go over that, and I can give you just a few points that we've developed through the feasibility study. First, we looked at renovation to both the existing schools or possible additions to the schools. Princess Anne Elementary, there's no room for an addition there. It wouldn't be feasible, not to mention the existing school is in such fashion that it would be overburdened with cost. It wouldn't be feasibly responsible to renovate that school. Greenwood Elementary, there is room there for a larger school, which is what this would be. We looked at doing an addition to the existing building, but then again, the cost seemed to be, it wouldn't be fiscally responsible to keep the existing building compared to the cost of construction and demolition of the existing building. One thing that drove me with this plan was that we were trying to limit local cost. One of those factors would be property acquisition. If we were to find a separate property or try to build two schools separately, we would still have to find new property acquisition, and that site development will be a local cost only. That's not a state cost share supported item. So that was one thing I looked at when we were trying to develop this plan, to minimize cost to local, to the school district, and to the county residents. Now, as far as the school goes, yes, it would be a large school. Be a large school for Somerset County. Comparative to other counties and other jurisdictions in the state, it would be an average to small school. We have some schools in the state with 4,000 to 5,000 students in them. The design of the school would maintain separation of those grade bands. Currently, we have them in two different schools. With the new design, it would put them in two different wings. So it would almost be as though it were two schools in one. And I can definitely share some of the preliminary design plans and show you what that would look like.
Right. Yeah, we discussed that before. I just wanted to.
Yeah, and that is not been designed. The building has not been designed yet.
Right, I understand.
Right. We've just done a feasibility study to see what makes the most fiscal responsibility, whether it be additions to each building or a new school build. And the determination of that is that a new school building would be the most fiscally responsible and what the state would support.
Thanks.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Hill, because I don't know if I understand. Would you say Princess Anne Elementary School would be demolished?
Well, that would be up to the county commissioners, sir. We own the buildings now while they're occupied and used as schools, but once they are unoccupied, we would give them back to the county. That's going to be up to the county.
Well, my biggest thought here is we have the sewer program, for an example. you know, that might be a perfect location for the SOAR program as Princess Anne Elementary School. If we did go through with the renovations and so forth, instead of having them in the central office, and maybe temporarily we do that, like we're doing this year and starting off. But I mean, it would be a huge school for that, if you understand what I'm saying. So, you know, maybe there's needs, like you say, there definitely needs to be some thought in this, because right now that's one of our biggest weaknesses. If we didn't have a SOAR school.
The
Well,
SOAR
that's gonna be
program
something-
is, go ahead, Mr. Hill, go ahead.
Well, all I'll say about that is one of the reasons we develop a plan for this is because of the state of the school and the state it's in. And if we were to put something like a program like that there, which we can discuss, that's going to be something Dr. Tasker Mitchell would have to direct. I mean, we do have that up and going, but we would have to make repairs to that building. And that would also be bore by only local cost. And I can tell you to repair that building, it would be quite expensive.
Yeah, I know. The commissioners were that used to be the old Washington High School, and they've done a fabulous job cleaning that place up. I mean, I'm telling you, you know, so it can be done. I don't know, but it's just a thought. Just trying to think out of the box.
Yeah, no. Any other questions or discussion?
No.
Just listening to my fellow board members, I'm wondering if we want to drive towards a true first read instead of a first and final. Just putting that thought out there.
No, I pick up that there needs to be some more discussion. The only thing I will say is for the existing projects, because I think one of the SIS, that project definitely has some questions and concerns. No one seems to be too concerned with Woodson. That's just a feasibility study. And as far as the Greenwood replacement, it hasn't even gone to design yet. So the continuing of funding at Chrisfield's critical. That needs to happen. So if there's something that you'd like to have removed from this plan, as if it would be a partial approval, that would be something I'd just like to discuss if that's something that board members would desire.
Can you explain that a little more about the partial plan?
Well, the continuation of funding at Chrisfield Academy and High School for the renovation project there is critical. That we don't need to delay. As far as the project at Greenwood and Princess Anne Elementary, right now we're just completing the feasibility study. We have not we're asking for funding for design. So that would be when you actually design the school building. And that's something that could be done then. If that is something that we could reach a consensus on and say that we need to move these other two items perhaps to FY28 to have more work sessions and time to discuss, that would prevent these other projects from being slowed down while your concerns are addressed.
Would you like
to do a first read? It's up to you.
Would you like a motion to that effect?
That is in your purview.
Okay, I move that the planning for the physical plan update be limited presently to the Chrisfield High School and was it Woodson?
Well, Woodson and the Greenwood design phase, if we could, I mean, it's up to you. Or we can do a first reader and maybe schedule a work session, discuss it further once it's up to you. I don't want to make it too confusing today.
So how would I go about this motion?
It sounds like we're driving towards a true first reader. Is that correct, Mr. Hill?
That's fine. Yeah.
What about approving the Chrisfield project and then doing the rest on another time? So that
we can do that, but what may happen is because of the deadlines for the IAC to make approvals, we may have to push the other three projects back to next year, which I'm fine with. I'm not, because the cash flow burden right now is mainly on the Chrisfield project. So I'm not thinking there's going to be cash flow available for these other projects this coming fiscal year, regardless. So the cash flow for Chris Field approval is what's most critical.
Okay, I take my amendment proposal back. I move that the board look into the possibility for Chrisfield High School for this upcoming year for funding. Is that okay? Is that clear enough?
Yeah, I think what Mr. Robertson's trying to say is he motions to put the Chrisfield High School project in place for your
CIP.
capital improvement plan, and then the others we will maybe can get in some work session meetings, and can we do it on separate votes?
That's
Yeah,
what
we can. I have no issue with that. That'll keep the project moving in Chrisfield, and we can, with a new board now, discuss these projects as you guys see fit.
Okay. Can we get a second to Mr. Robertson's motion? Is that correct, Mr. Robertson?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah, a second.
Any discussion?
Vice Chair Gleason,
Yes.
Mrs. Bosman, Mr. McInturf,
Yes.
Mr. Robertson,
Yes.
Chairman Langford.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Mr. Hill, for your time.
Thank you all very much.
It passed with the Chrisfield High project is for our capital improvement plan. And please, let's try to do this expeditiously and start talking about these other projects, because I think that needs to be if we can get it in before to put it into 27 plans and we all can agree on it, I think that'd be a good thing. If we have to wait to 28, we're probably going to have to wait that long anyway. With all
These
the projects
are not done in a short period of time. They take a lot of time, with years.
All right. All right. Thank you again, Mr. Hill.
Thank you.
All right. Next on the list is the administrative personnel report. I guess that's Tracy Bartome. Is that correct?
Yes, good evening. I'm here to bring forward the personnel report. There are four professional new hires. I'm looking for the board's approval. We mentioned those in closed session. Names.
Can we get a motion?
Would you like to do these individually?
However you'd like.
Okay. I move that we approve the professional hires, starting with Miss Sophia Larea.
Second grade teacher at Greenwood.
Right.
All right.
What,
Can I get a second?
next?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, Ms. Tillman?
Vice Chair Gleason,
Yes.
Ms. Bosman,
Yes.
Mr. McInturf,
He's on mute.
Mr. McInturf, Mr. Robertson,
Yes.
Chairman Langford,
Yes.
Mr.
I
McInturf.
move that we,
Yeah,
okay, I'm sorry.
I'm back. I'm sorry. Had
That's
to go to
fine.
the little boy's room. What am I voting on?
The personnel report.
Sophia Laura.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson, I don't know how our fellow board members feel, but for the remaining three, I am comfortable approving them as a group and then announcing them if approved. If it's okay.
I agree. I agree.
So I've got a motion and a second to approve the other three.
Yep.
Any discussion? Ms. Tillman?
Vice Chair Gleason,
Yes.
Mrs. Bosman,
Yes.
Mr. McInturf,
Yes.
Mr. Robertson,
Yes.
Chairman Langford.
Yes. Now, can you, Miss Bartomay, announce the other three?
I sure can. Miss Clarissa Cooper, ELA teacher at Washington High School, part-time teacher mentor, Miss Julie Mills, and our SOAR teacher, Mr. Mark Sevigny.
Congratulations. Thank you for that report, Miss Bartomay, and congratulations to the new hires.
I wish to move that we nominate Miss Sharon Richards, assistant principal to the SOAR program at Crisfield High School.
That would be a professional transfer.
Yeah. Okay. So do we have to prove, or is that up to Miss Dr. Tasker Mitchell? Isn't that her? Is that her?
Okay.
Yes,
Or-
normally we wouldn't vote on that.
And I withdraw my nomination.
I like that. Thank you, Mr. Robertson. Good job. Yep. All right. Next is that all, Miss Bartomay?
Yes, that is.
Thank you. Thank you for filling in for Miss South. Good job. I would like to bring up the FY 2026 Food and Nutrition Services budget. Are you covering that too, Miss Bartomay?
No, we were going to tag team it together, but you all have that for information. And did you all have a chance to look at it? And if you have any questions about it. I will tell you just a little bit about the document so you have some understanding. Excuse me. On the if you look at the upload, let me see if I can share my screen real quick. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the food service budget file, and you can see the three columns: this year budget code, account, and the FY 26 budget. Excuse me, allocations. Each of the budget codes are aligned to a school. For example, if you look at the budget code, letter B column, where it says 502-13-295-203, that 203 number is Deal Island. So that entire column, there are schools there, and there are also supplies, non-food related items. So that budget code, those budget codes align to schools, and then the needs of the system as it relates to food service. So 203 is Deal Island. And if you look at the rest of the numbers there, 205 is Greenwood, 211 is PAES, Princess Anne, 241 is Carter G. Woodson, 335 is Crisfield, 340 is Washington, and the 098 is a aggregate of all the schools together. And these budget codes, if you look at the next column where it talks about, those are the different accounts in column C. And then in column D is the FY 26 budget allocation. So when you look at some of the numbers, if you look at row 8, if you look at row 9, those are aligned to other specific areas. So row 19 represents office supplies, all aligned to the food, to food and nutrition. Row 20 is foods, also like the Cisco bills and things of that nature are vendors. Rows 21 and 22 have to do with school related supplies like forks and knives, napkins. 22 is non-food related items like chemicals, trash bags, and things of that nature. So when you're looking at this report, it's a compilation of various items that are budgeted for food and nutrition services. And then if you look at tab number 2 here, it says, actual 2024, actual 2025. Those are past allocations for the food and nutrition budget. This FY26, what you see highlighted in yellow, is what we've allocated for that. And once the school year closes out, then there will be an actual column for FY26. And those the areas that you see at the bottom are other areas, just the aggregate summaries of specific accounts. So any questions? Okay.
It looks like the budget is what, about 73,000 more than it was last year. Is that correct, Dr. Tasker Mitchell? I think it shows
about that much. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm pretty sure now this is paid by like we're reimbursed through a federal grant. Is that correct for the food and so forth? Is it from the federal government?
There's some programs. Yes. We have yes, because all of our students, Ms. Bardman, if you want to add on to that.
Say all of our schools are community.
Yes, all of our schools are. Yes.
Okay. All right. So it wouldn't be like our budget will be over or anything because of it, I'm assuming, correct? So this is the amount that we're putting through, we're approving.
That's what often happens, and then later it gets worked out later in the year. That's often what happens. You see it, the negative at some point early on, and then it gets paid back.
And that's why we don't have that actual column for 26 yet.
Okay. Any additional questions for Dr. Tasker Mitchell or Ms. Bartomay from the board? Okay, can we get a motion to approve the food and nutritional service budget?
I move that we approve the food and nutritional budget. Yeah, the school year.
We need a second. Is there any seconds?
Second.
Okay, it's up for discussion. Any discussion? I'm gonna say this, and I know with my kids, with the school lunches and stuff, some things are really good, and some things they didn't eat a whole lot. Hopefully they put some good food that the kids love and eat it up. So with that, that's all I had to say. Maybe
Mr. Scott definitely works on new foods and trying out some new foods and steady working on that.
Good. Well, yeah, good. All right. So, Ms. Tillman, if there's is there any additional comments or questions for Ms. Bartomay and Ms. Dr. Tasker Mitchell? All right. Let's call the vote.
Vice Chair Gleason,
Yes.
Mrs. Bosman,
Yes.
Mr. McInturf,
Yes.
Mr. Robertson,
Yes.
Chairman Langford.
Yes. All right. So the FY26 food and nutritional budget services has been approved. So thank you. Thank you, Dr. Tasker Mitchell, Ms. Bartomay. And again, I hope it's some good tasting food. All right. Next on the agenda is the September 2025 financial reports. I'm not sure are you going to be doing that, Dr. Tasker Mitchell?
Mr. Hill and I will do that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you guys have received the budget versus actual. If you'd like to share the screen, we can do that.
I can share the screen for you.
Yeah, you can see our period expenses year to date. You can see cost encumbrances, projections, and outruns. And if you have any questions about that, I'll be happy to try and address those right now.
Seems like I've got a lot of questions because I'm going to ask two real quick. There's two actual categories that I see that are in the negative. One is the human resources and the other is the office of principal. And they have considerable deficits. And I understand it's at the beginning of the year, but are there any, it's just some concerns of mine. So,
would you like me to address that, Dr. Tasker Mitchell, or do you want to take that?
Yeah, we can do it together. I'll let you start and then I'll jump
All
in.
right. So yeah, so you know that the budget is also a reflection of personnel, and of course we can't discuss some of the HR matters before the board right now, but those negative balances are a direct reflection of the approved budget and the numbers that we have now. So there's not going to be, I'm not sure what your exact question is, but I'm pretty sure that if we need to discuss that, we would have to do that in a different way.
Yeah, and also just as I have, you'll have an email from me that's coming, scheduled to come tomorrow morning, in reference to some of the categories here that are negative and our path moving forward.
okay. Yeah, I understand. All right. Yeah. I know that probably wasn't the best question, Mr. Hill, but I wanted to be somewhat discreet. But, you know, when you look at the encumbrances and what they do with the encumbrances, of course, is that amount of money is kind of earmarked for the positions that for the rest of the year. And then I guess when you take it from the budget amount, that's why you come up with the deficit. So
that's correct.
I understand.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Yep. And there will be some other determining factors once it plays out to the end of the year. There's some other ongoing matters, as we well know, that'll dictate budget amounts after negotiations and things are completed.
Well, and the good news is it's October, so we can make some adjustments and do those things to get everything settled. So just a comment as well. It's still early in the year, so thank you for working with us on it. And is there any other questions? This particular item doesn't require a vote, so if there's no more questions, we'll move on to public comments. All right. What I'm going to do with public comments, we received some emails for public comments. I would like to announce the individuals' names, and we will respond to you with an email and answer any questions you got. Please bear with me. If I do pronounce your name wrong, it wasn't intentional. But the first is Sarah
Shannon
Smolensky, I believe. Sarah Smoglenski. We also have Miss Phaedra Spencer. All right. We also have Miss Lynn Brumley. And the last one that we have is Mr. Joseph Hilton III. I want to thank everybody for your comments. We do read these. We will be responding back to you and in an email to let you know that we've read it. And I do appreciate the public comments. And hopefully soon we'll get back to the way we were originally doing them in person. So with that,
there were two more names at the top.
There were two more. I
There
thought
were
they
more-
were
there
last
were-
month, Dr. Tasker Mitchell. I'm not sure. Is that correct, Ms. Tillman?
Oh, I don't know the date. Oh, okay. Those are
That's
from the
September.
16th. Oh, okay.
She's
Okay.
keeping a rolling track of them, Dr.
Okay.
Tasker Mitchell.
I
I
just
think
couldn't
there were
remember
3 last month.
if we mentioned those last time.
Yeah, I think they were, I had them, I think, but I think we did mention those, last time. The only one I know Mr. Hilton claimed that he responded last month, and I never received an email, and I talked to Ms. Tillman about it, and we didn't as well. So that was one that I think maybe it either didn't get to us in time or whatever, but that was Mr. Hilton, and I apologize for any miscommunication on that. But I think that was, is that correct, Ms. Tillman? Can you verify that for me, the 4 that I called out?
That's the one for this. The other 3 that was for last month. It was a Mr. and Mrs. Beasley,
Right.
Shannon Matthews, Bobby Walters.
Yeah, Billy
And then,
Walters.
as far as Mr. Hilton, we had a glitch in our email system, but it's back up and running now.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we apologize because we didn't know it. So, but anyway, I think that was it for the public comments, and thank you all for commenting. And again, we'll be responding back to you. Next, and we have the superintendent and board member comments. I'm going to let Dr. Tasker Mitchell go first. And if there's any comments that you have, please give them. Thank you.
No, just thank everyone who's viewing this, viewing the board meeting. Thank you all for continuing to support our students and continuing to push them and provide them. We will do the best that we can to provide them with a high level quality education. And parents, we thank you, and hopefully be able to see you on Thursday evening at Washington Academy High School from 6 to 7:30, where we will be providing updates for reading, math, the strategic plan, blueprint. You'll also get to also hear from Ms. Monar in reference to the technical high school, which is something that we want to make sure all of our parents know about. And you will also be able to hear from some of our other instructional supervisors. So thank you all for viewing and for your time, and have a wonderful evening.
Okay. Mr. Gleason, go ahead.
Thank you. Just these past several weeks, really month, really has been pretty heavy. It's been humbling. The murder of Charlie Kirk, committed in broad daylight in front of 1,000 witnesses, and then instantly broadcast to the world. I think it's a brutal reminder to us all that freedom is not free. When someone is repeatedly painted in extreme terms, loudly and relentlessly, it dehumanizes them. And that distortion builds hatred in the hearts of others, enough to justify the unthinkable. And I just want to say that Jesus said it best in Matthew 5. You have heard that the ancients were told, you shall not murder, and whoever commits murder shall be answerable to the courts. But I say to you that everyone who is angry with his brother shall be answerable to the courts. Unchecked escalation without any path to reconciliation leads to chaos. And in chaos, any evil can become plausible. To those who believe that this is not the time or place to speak of such things, I offer the words of our nation's founders, men who understood that liberty and morality are inseparable, and that faith is not a distraction from public life, but its foundation. Benjamin Rush, signer of the Declaration of Independence, he said, the only foundation for a useful education in a republic is to be laid in religion. Without this, there can be no virtue. And without virtue, there can be no liberty. We profess to be Republicans, and yet we neglect the only means of establishing and perpetrating our Republican forms of government. That is, the universal education of our youth in the principles of Christianity by the means of the Bible. By renouncing the Bible, philosophers swing from their moorings upon all moral subjects. And it is the only correct map, the human heart, that ever has been published. The gates of hell should not prevail against it. Benjamin Franklin said, "Only a virtuous people are capable of freedom." As nations become corrupt and vicious, they have more need of masters. I have lived, sir, a long time, and the longer I live, the more convincing proofs I see of this truth, that God governs in the affairs of men. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Without his concurring aid, we shall succeed in the political building no better than the builders of Babel. George Washington stated, "Of all the dispositions and habits which lead to political prosperity, religion and morality are indispensable supports." In vain would that man claim the tribute of patriotism who should labor to subvert these great pillars of human happiness. And then last, Noah Webster, a founding educator, said this: "The most perfect maxims and examples for regulating your social conduct and domestic economy, as well as the best rules for morality and religion, are to be found in the Bible. All the evils which men suffer from, vice, crime, ambition, injustice, oppression, slavery, and war, proceed from their despising or neglecting the precepts contained in the Bible." I honor Charlie Kirk today, a great American who was murdered with a bullet to the throat and a microphone in his hand, attempting to civilly exchange ideas in the public square. I honor him in the only way I know how, by speaking the truth. The same truth he spoke to the crowd before he was murdered. And this truth, this most important truth, is this: since the fall of Adam and Eve in the garden, sin has spiraled out of control. Sin is anything that we think, say, or do that flows out of our hearts and stands against God. It separates us from a holy and perfect creator. And on our own, we cannot bridge that gap. But God knew this. That's why he sent Jesus, fully God and fully man, to live a perfect life and die as a full payment for our sins. 3 days after his death on the cross, Jesus rose again, defeating death and offering us a gift, a way back to God, if we choose to accept it. Romans 10 gives us a clear path to accepting that gift. It states this: if you confess with your mouth Jesus as Lord, that is, ruler and master of your life, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, that is, you believe that he lived a perfect life and died paying for the punishment of sin and conquered death, you will be saved. My prayer that everyone who hears my voice accepts this gift and confesses Jesus as their Lord. Thank you for your time tonight.
Very eloquent. Very eloquent.
Yes, well said. Well said. Ms. Bosman.
Well, I just want to thank each one of you for your patience in this adjustment of carrying on business for our children of Somerset County, whether it be Dr. Tasker Mitchell, each one of us on the board, and parents that are involved here and the board members. And I do trust that we will work to getting back live together, but I am thankful that we were able to carry on business this way for our children.
Well said, Ms. Bosman. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. McInturf. You're take your mute off, baby. You're on mute.
Sorry, my bad. I just want to thank everyone that's participated this evening, and everyone at home that's taken the time to connect with us and participate as best they can with the meeting. I know it's been difficult on everyone not having our public meetings, and it's been difficult on us as well. I hope that as we put one foot in front of the other, try to overcome some of the obstacles that we have in front of us, that we'll be back to business as normal. And the only way we can do that is by working together. And I was thinking, as Mr. Gleason gave some of the quotes from some of our founders, I was thinking of something Abraham Lincoln paraphrased the Old Testament. A house divided against itself cannot stand. And that's true for our nation. It's true for our state, our county, and for this Board of Education. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Well said, Mr. McIntyre. Thank you. Mr. Robertson.
I just hope that the members of the board consider moving back to an open meeting forum. I appreciate everything that everyone has done. And although this is easier for me, I can stay at home. I miss the interaction with people.
Well said, Mr. Robertson. Thank you. Okay, I'll wrap it up. First of all, I wanted to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I did want to say that at the beginning of September, late August, we had the orientation of our schools, and I had the pleasure of going to each and every school in the county on that day. And I saw a lot of great things. I really did. And I want to especially give a shout out to Deal Island. We went in there, and it was the first school we went to. We went to the central office first and met all the vendors. But I'll tell you, it's a unique place down there. I'll tell you what, the classrooms were incredible, and the teachers were so excited. They had the classroom set up like you wanted to be there. You know, it was so cool. So I want to give a shout out to Miss Walters on that. Excellent job. I want to say this about Chrisfield High School. They were in the middle of renovation, so I mean it's kind of, but they had some of the coolest mobile buildings there that they're doing the classrooms in. They turned out, and they were really nice. I had a chance to tour them. Mr. Hill, you were right. They were really nice. And I went to all the schools, and I got nothing but positive things to say. Greenwood, oh my goodness. The most loved principal in the world. I know Mr. Gibson's probably still on here. He'll hear that, but man, those kids just love Miss Gibson. I mean, they go up to her and hug her. And I mean, every day, every time I go in there, it's amazing. And of course, all the other schools, but you know, the main thing is, and you know, you often hear so many things being a resident of Somerset County. And, you know, I've heard it all my life, 58 years that I've been here, that we are the poorest county in the world. And, you know, the only way that we can get out of that is education. Education. That makes the difference. And that's what we got to tell our kids. Work hard, achieve, because what you do now affects you later. So with that, I want to thank everybody again. And I think we've had some good meetings, even virtually. And I do agree with Mr. Robinson and Mr. McIntyre. You know, it'd be nice to get back to in person, and we'll talk about that, and we'll do that soon. But I want to thank everybody again for being patient with us. And with that, before I ask for adjournment and a motion, I'd like to ask Mr. Hill and Dr. Tasker Mitchell, if it's possible, after we kind of get off the meeting, can you all just stay on? It only take about a minute. I just want to ask Dr. Tasker Mitchell something, and then we'll go on. So can I get a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Ms. Tillman?
Vice Chair Gleason,
Yes.
Mrs. Bosman,
Yes.
Mr. McIntyre,
Yes.
Mr. Robertson,
Yes.
Chairman Langford.
Yes. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
At this point in time, I am stopping the stream.
Okay, cool. Let me know when it stopped and I'll just ask you real quick.
Bear with me. Let me verify.